So I got my hands on a copy of Windows 8. Well, the release preview, anyway. Now, I had never tried the developer preview, I'd only tried the consumer preview before that, and I ended up uninstalling it completely from my system because the hot corners were constantly crashing my machine. So that was the first thing that I noticed had been fixed in consumer preview. Sorry, release preview. But release preview is highly stable, and I actually recommend using it if you're looking for increasing the speed and productivity of your computer and you're running Windows 7 on a low-end machine. I found that in my single core 2.3 GHz 2 GB RAM 320 gig HDD compact laptop, don't say it, that my speed for launching apps, for having everything around, and these are desktop apps, x86, x64, of course. But I found that they launched faster, they worked faster, and I could have more open at once. Now, this seems like I just upgraded my, all my hardware. But I didn't. All I did was install Windows Release Preview over Windows 7 Home Premium x64. Now, I was running the x64 version of Release Preview, and it was very fast. It was amazingly fluid. Don't think amazingly is a word. But it is really worth getting, and people who say they don't like Metro really haven't tried it. Now, I like Metro in the Metro UI. I don't like Metro when it's in the desktop. Now, this is pretty obvious in the new Explorer skin. There's sort of a Metro meets Aero collision between a lot of the options here, and it doesn't look good. Okay, and then the Charms menu looks absolutely horrible when you use a mouse and you just mouse over to go and find it. So the Charms menu doesn't look good, and neither does the Metro skin in Explorer. Now that's with the Aero window frames with the Metro skin within. So that didn't look good, but it was really functional, and I found that my apps never died. Like a lot of my apps do not respond to me. That's a result of having a low-end system. I found that things like Camtasia Studio, that always works for me. It just lags out a bit, but after a while it just decided to not work. It didn't start not responding because I didn't get the fade out to white or anything. It just, the buttons just stopped being responsive. Like, I still got, when you mouse over a the file button, it still gives its little bit of feedback then, but nothing would work. So I ended up having to close that out. I found also that because I upgraded from Windows 7, but I chose not to keep any of my programs or applications, only to keep my user data and my documents, I found that a lot of the things that I had became unusable. For example, a lot of my links in the Explorer, the favorites menu in Explorer, none of them worked, so I couldn't use my Dropbox, couldn't use the desktop link, couldn't use the downloads link, couldn't use the recent places link. And personally, I really like to get to my downloads really quickly through there, and I ended up having to assign separate shortcuts on the desktop. Another thing that I actually found that I really liked was I found that the Aero skin, it had a lot more blur on it, and the square looked really good. It looks a lot better than the Windows 7 Vista Explorer skin. Something else that was really struck me as interesting was the fact that I could close out the desktop environment just like a Metro style app to save resources. Now, if there was a Metro style app to play back video other than one that just decided to commit suicide on me, I would have used that, but unfortunately, because I like to watch a lot of video on my computer and Real Player Mini runs in the desktop environment, I was unable to really try out that feature much. Now, I did have some issues with Metro Internet Explorer. It wouldn't open up. Every time I tried to click the link, it was just not responsive. I could click in the tile would, do its little feedback thing, but nothing would open. Now, initially I put that down to the fact that Windows couldn't activate itself yet, and after it did, the problem still persisted. Now, this was horrible for me, and I found that you could launch Metro Internet Explorer, you just couldn't launch it via the tile. You actually had to start typing, and, in the search, and change the search field to Internet Explorer. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. And my final complaint about Windows 8 was the fact that after I installed it, I thought that my computer was going to explode. Right, because after I installed it, I unplugged my laptop computer. Now, that is how you kill a computer running Windows 8. You just unplug the laptop. So I unplugged it, and I found that my mouse was moving slowly on screen. The scroll bars, sorry, the spinner bars, they were actually moving really really choppy. And then I was like, okay, why is this? Because after I had installed everything, and I'd finished the setup, I managed to log in and everything was smooth and sweet. Then I decided to try it the boot time. So I restarted, and after I restarted, I couldn't do anything. It was just that damn slow. I couldn't work it out, so I went back and I plugged in my computer, and I plugged in my mouse, and plugged in, nothing else. So to try and, reproduce the situation where it worked last time, and it worked perfectly with the power out. With the power in. And I couldn't work out what it was. I thought it was some drivers trying to be installed from the mouse, or just something stupid like that. So, later on, while I was using it in the UI, I decided to unplug the laptop again. And the whole thing just freezes up. So, there is a way to fix it. You need to search for the power in your control panel. That's in your desktop style control panel. And you can get that just by typing in control panel and search. And you need to open that up and look for a power plan. And I had to choose mine on high performance, which is what I have it on all the time anyway. Another thing I found, and this is one that really, really pissed me off, and I even made a video on it, was the fact that my Metro app seemed to commit suicide on me. After opening up the music app, I couldn't get back into it. After opening up the video app, I couldn't get back into it. After opening up the travel, the finance, the maps I could get back into. The news and my mail apps, I couldn't get back into them. The tiles had changed into live tiles, which when clicked, opened up the App Store. So I tried to do a search for them, for the app, and I searched for the app again, and it opens up the App Store. So I decided to go through the App Store and try to install the app through there again. Guess what? It didn't work. Now, I think this might be a product of the fact that I tried to upgrade the way I did. I'm not sure. I hope Microsoft fixes that bug in the future, because it was the reason that I downgraded back to Windows 7. Because, everything I like ran so well on Consumer Preview. Things like San Andreas, things like, just everything that I like to use ran so well. And that, to me, it's a bit of a real letdown that this shit happened. Anyway, if you want to go ahead and try Windows 8, it's all up to you. That was sort of just a rundown of my experiences using it. And if you want more, rate, comment, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And, yeah. If you want to check out Release Preview, I will link it down below. Bye.